Hello everybody! Today I'll be making this video about my settings because I have been getting a couple comments about my options, and I just thought it'd be a good time to show you guys both what my options are, even though they're not super complicated, and then also some tips and tricks and how I got to masters playing by myself. Alright, so this is my main account, which doesn't really make a huge difference. All my settings are the same. Let me go down here. And so I don't change anything with the video, the sound. The controls by default, I have all my characters on 65 horizontal sensitivity and then 60 on vertical sensitivity. Everything else is just default that the game gave me. And then I go down to D.Va, and I have my horizontal sensitivities at 100. Horizontal 100, vertical 100, and then advanced settings, I did not change anything that I can remember at least. But I did change the reticle to crosshairs. Honestly, I don't think that it matters which reticle you use as long as it isn't that giant white circle that's always in the game, because I feel like if you have crosshairs or the circle or the dot, it will just be way easier to hit headshots or just improve your accuracy in general. But yeah, other than that, I didn't change the bindings of any of the buttons or anything like that.
Before I get into the tips, I just want to preface that this is the way I play D.Va. If some of these tips don't work for you or suit you, that is completely fine. Everyone plays differently, so there's no right or wrong way to play her. My first tip for you guys is to be aggressive. D.Va is made to be played aggressively, but you have to be careful about your timing. Being aggressive does not mean boost right into the enemy team and getting yourself killed. You need to target weaker or more vulnerable characters on the enemy team. If you have a Winston or an aggressive DPS to dive with you, like Doomfist or Genji, your job becomes a whole lot more coordinated and easier. Tip number 2 is throwing your bomb. From someone who used to play only quick play until about a year ago, which equates to like 500 hours, I can say that getting a big bomb is way different in quick play than it is in comp. In quick play, you can get away with flanking the enemy team and throwing your bomb to get a 4K, but that's just not how it works in comp. It's not even about getting a big bomb. A big bomb can be just 2 people, as long as it gives your team a leg up in the team fight. It could be both healers, it could be the shield tank, it could literally be anybody, as long as it gives your team a chance to win the fight. I find myself using my bombs way more in the moment than actually planning them out too. But if I do get the chance to actually plan to throw a bomb, I aim to throw it over something, like a bridge, or a building, or just throw it directly at the enemy team when their shield is broken. Also, you should probably combo with people if you get the chance. Tip number 3 is don't hold your ult. If you're holding your ult to get the perfect bomb, you are doing your team a disservice because you're probably more focused on which spot you want to throw it at and waiting for the enemy team to come together instead of actually moving with your team to actually kill people without using your bomb. If you're holding your ult because the Rhine shield hasn't broken yet, or the BAP hasn't used his immortality yet, or the Lucio hasn't used his beat yet, that makes more sense. But if you find yourself holding your ult after like 2 minutes of getting it, you might as well throw it. You may not get any kills, but that will rid the enemy team of their shield, or their immortality, or whatever it was holding you back. If they don't have those things, that could still give your team an advantage to win the fight overall. We have to be thinking about the team winning the fight, not just you and your bombs or getting clips or whatever. Tip number 4 is to use every ability you have. D.Va is blessed with having probably the most abilities out of any character in the game, so we should be utilizing that constantly. When I use my boosters, I almost never use them fully. I usually stop my boosters a little bit short of where I'm trying to go, so the momentum will carry me there, and I can get my boosters back faster. It doesn't seem like it's that big of a difference, but it does make a difference. As for her matrix, you have to be careful about when you use it. I think we all know that. It's hard to know which projectiles are worth capturing in her matrix, especially because she only has a certain amount at one time, but I'd say to try to focus on the ones that do way more damage, like Soldier's Helix or Ryan's Fire Strike, or ones that would really just turn the tide of the fight, like Anna's Sleep or her anti, and also matrixing when your shield is down. If the Rhine shield is getting weak, you should be matrixing so it can recharge a little bit, just small things like that. A thing that I think is overlooked by D.Va players, I guess, is matrixing when people are ulting, but that does not just mean the enemy team, that also counts for your own team. We all know that when a soldier or a McCree or a Pharah ults, everyone focuses their damage towards them. Your team would have way better luck actually killing people with those ults if you were there to catch that sleep or that headshot that someone was going to shoot at them. When it comes to matrixing the enemy team's ult, they will probably be telegraphing their moves, some more than others. It's also dependent on who you're playing against. It's different for everybody. But with Zarya's, they will probably be paying way more attention to your matrix, so you need to be careful about how you use it and kind of your timing. I know that's really hard. I even find myself struggling with that. But I just say use only part of your matrix when you're around her so she thinks you've run out, and bring up your matrix when you think she's about to ult. In my experience, it only works about half the time. And for Maze as well, they usually throw their ult at their feet, so you would have to be probably matrixing her directly and way more in like close contact. Also, a good thing to know is that when people are about to ult, they become either way more aggressive than anyone else on their team, or they're a bit more standoffish. Like, I know I've seen some divas where they let their entire team push in and then they ult, and they're all the way far back at the choke instead of at the point. Just small things like that to pay attention to. Tip number 5 is to use your body. And what I mean by that is punching, body blocking, and using your boosters to push people around. I know that last one, a lot of us already know that, but I definitely think that punching and body blocking is kind of overlooked. I know that I use punching a lot as a finishing blow, but it can also be used to just damage people you can't exactly shoot. A good example of that would be like a Sigma. When he starts getting pressure on him or his shield runs out, he does his little swirly matrixing, I don't know what it's called, but during those times usually I will go up to them and I will just start punching him until he's done with his matrix, because I can still be doing damage to him while he is wasting his ability. And then there's body blocking. Body blocking isn't used that much either at all, and I don't think it's like super vital, but it's just a thing that you can use at a certain time. I tend to use it against Mercies usually when I'm in an enclosed room with her and her team has ran out of the room but she hasn't, and the main thing that Mercies rely on is the fact that they can fly to their team. So if you block that, like block a doorway while she's trying to fly through it and then you just kill her, team's already staggered, you can win that fight because they just lost their main heals. You can also use your boosters, you can push people off the map, or you can just simply kill people by running into them with your boosters. Tip number 6, which is optional, it's very optional, is to play by yourself. This isn't really much of a tip, but it's rather just something that worked for me. About a year ago, I was stuck between like the plat and diamond threshold, and I was stuck with a group that never let me play who I wanted to. They always had me play Orisa or Zarya because playing D.Va it's a risky thing to do, and in ranked with people that care so much about their rank and their SR and stuff, they don't want to take chances like that. So I was stuck there and we were losing all the time. Like, I would do fine with the characters that I was playing. We just always seemed to lose because the group as a whole was just bad. And if anything, I was the best at D.Va out of any character that I could play. I could just never show that. So because of that, about 3 months ago, I decided to create a third account that nobody but me knew about. None of my friends knew about. I don't have any friends on that account. Just so I could push myself and prove to myself that I could get to Masters by solo queuing and only playing D.Va. And no one had given me the chance to do that before, but it made the achievement that much more satisfying. I didn't join comms or anything because, one, I don't like the negativity, and the callouts, they can be good, but I don't need them. That's not like me saying like I don't need them because I'm good. It's just, it's distracting. when people are talking to me, I feel like I can't focus on what I'm doing. So it was a lot of just me and my silence focusing on the game, myself, and my skills. I'm not sure if that will work for everybody because I know everyone has their own ways they want to play. A lot of people enjoy playing games because they play with their friends. So I understand if you guys don't do this, that is completely fine. That was just something that helped me grow as a D.Va main. Alright, that is all the tips I have for you guys today, but feel free to let me know any questions you have in the comments because I definitely probably missed some stuff. I hope these tips really help you guys, and I hope you guys all have an amazing Christmas.